Hey everyone, it's Michael GoosebumpsFan. I hope you're doing well today, and I have a video that I think many of you have been waiting for a review that I've been wanting to do for a while. As you can probably hear in my voice, I've been sick the last few weeks, and I've been working on other reviews on other channels now that I finally got my voice back. I don't know if it was COVID or the flu or whatever, even the doctor didn't know, and he was sick too, which is the best part about that little visit, and they gave me nothing to help me. Anyway, so finally I got my voice back. I decided to finish reading this book that I started forever ago. And here I am talking about a book that I was super excited about. I think many of you knew I would be excited about the moment it was announced because, you know, I love this topic. This book is Goosebumps House of Shivers, Night of the Living Mummy. And this is number 3 of the series, by the way. Now, I love mummies. Many of you know that. I have reviewed very positively a lot of mummy things on this channel, whether it be the short story, Don't Wake Mummy, whether it be, the books themselves. A lot of the time I really like just mummy stories in general. I'm a sucker for the Universal Monsters mummy films, too. If you haven't seen those before, you're really missing out from films 3 and onward of that series. But anyway, I couldn't wait for this to come out. I finally got my hands on a copy after Barnes & Noble locally never has a copy. And I was on vacation when I managed to get it too, and I read most of it going to Tennessee. As I think I told some of you in previous reviews for the Goosebumps Season 1 book I talked about and the Haunted Mask graphics book that I talked about. Anyway, Night of the Living Mummy is a really cool play on Night of the Living Dummy, the very famous Goosebumps book. I really dig that. But let's get into the actual story now. This had one of the best main characters I've read in a long time. Number one, I don't watch reviews for any book I read in Goosebumps until I've read the book because I don't want anything ruined for me, anything spoiled. And some YouTube channels in the community tend to do that, others don't. But I wanted to be careful because I loved the topic of this book with the mummy stuff. There's a lot of really cool things in there I want to get into too, not talking about any spoilers for you all. Just to show you how much I recommended the book based on my own tastes. And that's maybe controversial, I don't know, based on what the reception is in the community. But anyway, I really like the main character here. His name is Happy, that's a nickname he was given. I think it said his real name was like Harry, but he was a happy baby, and so his mom gave him the nickname Happy or something. Anyway, I really like Happy. He's a fun kid. He loves ancient Egypt, which I can relate immediately on that with him because of how much I've always liked that topic, just the discussions of what they did in their culture, the way the kings ruled, kind of the interest around those topics. I always liked that. And mummies. I love mummies. There's something about them that creep me out, but just the interest in why would you do that to somebody's dead carcass is just bizarre to me. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I used to love getting to do projects about ancient Egypt when I was a kid in elementary school and even in middle school when we still did some projects and when I still did homework. Happy basically is going to have a field trip with his friends and his teacher to a local museum where they just got a brand new mummy in that no one has seen yet. And the day they try to go to this field trip, that area is barricaded. You're not allowed to go see the new mummy yet. And you think that the school would have looked into that, but that's public school for you nowadays. Anyway, Happy is so eager to see this mummy carcass that he's like, you know what, I'm going to sneak around. He tries to, hide in different areas, go around different places where bodyguards and stuff and security aren't at. And eventually he works his way over to the lobby, or not the lobby, the museum exhibit itself. He gets in there to see the mummy and it comes to life and it grabs him. Now all of that happens in the first 30 pages. But then the next 30 pages become a part 2 of the book. By the way, if you're hearing that tapping noise, it's the heater on the house. I forgot to turn the heat off before I did this video. So you're just going to have to deal with my ghost tappings on the walls. Just letting you know. It must have been cold yesterday. Anyway, or last night. Anyway, getting back to the review at hand. The next 30 pages of the book are a flashback in the part 2 of the book. And it's like 40 pages of this Egyptian prince that is the mummy in the museum back when he was alive, when he was in ancient Egypt thousands of years ago. And basically we watch the story of him, his brothers and sister, or brother and sister, whatever it was, his family life after his dad dies. And you don't really trust some of the people, like the right-hand man of his dad, and him being a prince. He's very young, I think about 12, 13, 14, and having to rule Egypt at this point. is a little bit out of hand for him. He doesn't know who to trust, who not, but he loves his mom, he loves his family, and he's trying to focus on what they tell him and what he thinks should be the way to rule amongst a world that's going to take advantage of him as a very young leader, you know? I really liked this prince. His name is Ramen, I think. It looks like ramen noodles, but without an E. Rahman, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how you say the stupid name. But I liked him. I thought it was interesting seeing some of the things he did there. And then eventually, you find out there's a family amulet that eventually gets stolen. And that kind of ties into the present day stuff because something happens with Ramen that I thought was super interesting. We find out about the mummifying of him and whatnot and why that happened, and that was super cool. I really loved that part of the book. I enjoyed the crap out of this read. I thought it was really fun, really enjoyable, really adventurous too, more so than most Goosebumps books are. I feel like it was a traveling adventure sometimes, even though it dips its toes into time travel. Yeah, you might not like that, but it does do that, and I actually think the way it did that was kind of neat. The book kind of cheats in the finale, but still, I really enjoyed the book. It didn't feel like a cop-out. It didn't feel, to me, disappointing, because I was looking forward to this just for the ancient Egypt mummy stuff, but I got a lot of that, and I really enjoyed that. But getting back to the present-day stuff, I don't want to talk too much more about this, because I don't want to give you too many details, but in the modern day setting, in part 3, when we cut back to modern day, there's a mystery about where did the amulet go, who took it, can we trust the people around us right now? But number 4, we have Ramen, after he was the mummy that grabbed our main character Happy in the museum, he also possessed him. But not really. He just kind of put his soul into our main character Happy's body. And he's talking with him in his head and asking Happy to go do this and go do that to help him out. They become friends. And it's kind of a buddy story. And I liked that. I thought that was really neat. But for the rest of the book, from like page 70 to the final pages, 144, whatever it was, basically it's them going on an adventure to find out where the amulet is and trying to possibly get King Ramen, or Prince Ramen, whatever, set back to peace, maybe sent back to his time, however that could work with the time travel elements. But there's still a lot more that happens. There's still a lot of stuff that's kind of predictable, in my opinion. Some are not. If I was a kid reading this book, I would say, if I was a kid reading this book, I think it would have really kicked my feet out from under me. I really do think it would have, and I think I would have had an even better time than what I had as an adult with all the interest in this plot that I have. Personally, I'm going to say this up front, I think this is one of the best, most recent Goosebumps books, whether it be, personally it's my favorite of the House of Shivers so far. It's not scary, it's just I like the Egypt stuff and the mummy stuff. But it's not one of those books that are truly dedicated to what it advertises. There's not a mummy shuffling around, and I'm bummed about that because that's what I wanted. But the fact that I got what I got, I really enjoyed this. It would have been a cool movie for kids. It wouldn't have been as good as something like Under Wraps, but it would have been cool for what it was storytelling-wise. I really dig this. It was totally up my alley, and if you've ever trusted me on recommendations before, check this out, man. A brand new book from recent months, and I thought it was really cool for what it was, and that's why I wanted to save up this review now that I'm feeling better for you all, for Halloween, because of how much I thought this was a special, fun little read. But anyway, when it comes to Goosebumps House of Shivers number 3, Night of the Living Mummy, if I had to rate this on a 5-star basis, I'm going to rate it kind of high, I think, compared to what most people would, but I'm going to give it like a pretty high 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it a lot. It's not perfect, it's a little predictable, but it's a kid's book series. I can get over that. I want entertainment value, and R.L. Stine never fails with concepts like this. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I had a blast. And I recommend it highly to the right person. If you love mummy stuff, mainly ancient Egypt culture stuff, if you love that kind of thing, you'll love this. Easily, hands down. I'd be shocked if you didn't. But with all that being said, folks, thank you for being patient with me. I am so sorry I did not get out any videos for you recently. Everybody's asking me about the Goosebumps Season 2 trailer. I may try to finally cave in and watch that trailer. I have had person after person send me private messages, send me comments, everything asking about it, so tune in for that. I'm gonna try. but I have no hope for it. I have no expectations. I have not watched anybody else's videos about that trailer. And frankly, I kind of don't even want to cover it, just out of spite to Disney, who I hate. But anyway, what do you think about the show? What do you think about this awesome little read right here? Let me know everything you think down below. And again, happy Halloween. God bless you guys. Talk to you later, and goodbye.